So are we all back, or is there anybody in the bar left? Some. We'll just let this young man. Are you going to go and sit down, young man, in your tartan shirt? Just doing what? Your shots. So you brought your own drink in as well, have you? Oh, bear with. Yeah, we'll just wait for you to finish, shall we? Just bear with. Because obviously I've forgotten the rest of the people in here who paid money to come and see the show. And that this is just all about you. Are we all right now? Have we done the shots?
We've got 2 more to do.
2 more to do. Oh, God help us. Let's hope they're fucking fatal, shall we? Bear with. Just out of interest, does everybody know this table here? No. Are you all right where you are? You're a brave man. Very brave man. And it's a good job you haven't got any hair now, because if you'd have had some before you sat at that table, I think by the time you'd finished, absolutely no chance. So, did you enjoy your first act? So, I've got to be honest, I've had quite a good year with... Right, ladies, let me just tell you how this is going to pan out now, right? I'm going to speak and you're going to fucking shut up, all right? Because that's how this goes, right? I've been doing stand-up a long time. I've got a microphone, so whatever you gabble, I will just talk over the top of you. Is that all right? I don't wish to get aggressive at this early stage, but I think sometimes it has to be done. Listen to that. That's like, cut the room, hasn't it? And created an atmosphere, but I don't fucking care, to be honest. I've had quite a good year with stand-up. I went to the Leicester Comedy Festival this year, and I won an award. Yeah. I won the Silver Stand-Up of the Year, which is basically a competition. To qualify, you've got to be over 55, so that was a result. There was no upper age limit. Like backstage, I'll be honest with you, it was like God's waiting room for comedians. One of the acts, he was sat in a chair, we just looked at him, he had his eyes closed, and we were like, oh my God, is he asleep or dead? We didn't know. And somebody said, should we wake him up? I said, no, just leave him, because that's going to increase our chances. And I did, because you get 5 minutes, you've got to do 5 minutes. And I got through to the final, did my 5 minutes, and I won. And I phoned my wife. I said, you'll never guess, after 4 years of trying, I've only gone and won. And she's like, oh, that's fantastic. What have you won? Right, now you will have worked out from that accent that I am married to somebody from Mumbai. I said, I've won a trophy. She said, anything else? No? All right. I'm back home in Gloucester 2 hours later. I'm in the living room showing her this trophy. She said, it's very nice. Have you won anything else? I said, no, I told you that on the phone. The thing is, right, I've been on the website and Googled it, right? When were you going to tell me about the £500 cash prize? I was gutted because I had that lined up for a special occasion. And she said, what have I told you all the way through our marriage? I said, I don't know, there's been so many fucking things, it's hard to remember, to be honest. She said, the main thing is, never lie. Right, that's fair enough, right? In theory, that doesn't work. She went on a cruise at the end of April. She phoned me on the Wednesday. All right? Will you just shut up now?
Okay, sorry.
Right. She phoned me on the Wednesday. You all right? I said, yeah, I'm fine. Are you missing me? I remember what she said, never lie. So I was like, no. She started clutching at straws then. I bet the dog's missing me. He wasn't. He was loving it. Me and him, we had the best time. Like, I was feeding from the table. We were down the pub. We went and got tattoos. Well, I did. And it got to the Thursday, and he can't speak, I know that, but like we just sat there in the pub and he was looking at me like, oh, Dad, this is fantastic, isn't it? And I'm, yeah, it is, mate. Has she really got to come back? Yeah, she has got to come back. But I missed her, to be honest, the only time I missed her was the Saturday. Because it got to the Saturday, and she said to me, before I come back on the Sunday, you've got to change the duvet. Like, we've been married for 22 years. I've never had to change a duvet in my life. 45 minutes I was wrestling with this bloody thing. I've only got tiny little arms. Got all the things, got it smoothed out, did the buttons up, and then realised I got 3 holes left and not enough buttons. She came home in the early hours of Sunday morning. find me and the dog asleep inside the duvet, right? She was more annoyed at the fact that the dog was upstairs, because we've had a rule with him since he was a pup. It's like he's not really allowed upstairs, because initially it was for hygiene, but then also he just got into this little bit of habit of when we've been intimate, like he was getting on the bed, and that's hard to keep the romance going when you've got razor-sharp puppy teeth biting your ass. And the other night, I must have left the stair gate open, because we were just getting down to do it in a fairly ironic position, I've got to be honest. And I looked round, and he's just sat there, like on the side of the bed, just looking at me. And as I said, I know he can't speak, but if he could speak, I could read his mind. He was like, right, so you're doing that, are you? And you've got the audacity to tell me off for humping my cushion downstairs. You bloody disgust me. We did dry January this year. We still drank, just no sex. But it was her fault, because just before Christmas, she said, right, we've been married 22 years. You don't have to worry about getting me a Christmas present. So I didn't.
Idiot.
I know. Yeah. Because you don't mean it, do you?
No.
She's not a happy woman. It was her birthday. Today. Got her a spa day. That wasn't right. Apparently she hates grocery shopping. But we celebrated Valentine's Day this year, and I did the romantic thing. I phoned the florist. I'd like to order some flowers for my wife. She said, would you like a card? I said, yes, please. She said, what do you want on the card? I said, just put to Lynn, all my love, Nick. She said, do you want a kiss on the bottom? I said, that'd be fantastic. What time do you want me there? And she's like, no, I meant on the bottom of the card. I said, yeah, I know. I'm a comedian. I was just making a joke. And quick as a flash, she said, I bet you don't get many gigs. Which... But we did. We celebrated Valentine's Day, me and my wife of 22 years. And by that, I don't mean I'm married to a 22-year-old, because that would be fucking heaven, to be honest. And she said, can you remember how we first met? I said, well, yeah, vaguely. She said, you had an advert in the Lonely Hearts column. In fact, you had two, but I only applied to one. I didn't know that. I said, why was that? She said, well, on the second one, you put your height, right? I didn't know she had an issue with my height. Certain things have happened, right? A couple of weeks ago, are we Strictly fans? Yeah. Sort of. So I wasn't, but I've got into it this year, and I've got to be honest. I felt a little bit awkward watching it, because they got Ellie Simmons in, the Paralympian, you know, the little girl. Fantastic, what a woman! Like 5 gold medals, 2 at the age of 13. But I just feel really uncomfortable watching her. And on the first show, at the end of her dance, her partner spun her across the floor, right? And I started laughing. And like Lynn's looking at me saying, what are you laughing at? I said, oh, come on, look at that. That's got to remind you of dwarf tossing, surely. And she's like, I don't think that's anything to laugh at. That could be you. I said, well, it couldn't, actually, because I'll never be invited on Strictly. She said, I didn't mean that. I meant your height. I said, right. Well, I've got you there, because I've had this all my life. I do not qualify as a dwarf. She said, what do you want about? I said, to qualify as a dwarf is 58 inches or less. She said, well, how tall are you? I said, I'm 62 inches. And then she said, but you shrink as you get older. It's bloody harsh, isn't it? We hadn't been together long, and I suggested we go to Alton Towers for the day. And she was like, can't see the point in wasting £62. You'll only be allowed on 3 rides. I came home the following week. She said, can I ask you a question? I said, yeah, what is it? She said, how do you feel about being only 9 inches taller than the largest emperor penguin ever recorded? She Googled it. Like, she had that much. She Googled it. That wasn't so bad, but she worked in a school at the time, and I used to go and have coffee with her now and again. And I went in, and she wasn't there, and one of the teachers said, oh, you all right, Nick? Yeah, fine, thanks. You having a coffee? Yeah. Do you want a biscuit? Yeah, please. Why don't you pick up a penguin? She fucking told them, right? They knew. But we have been married 22 years, and we've just gone through the same routine Night after night, she goes up to bed, I come up to bed. Have you turned the TV off? Yes. At the wall? Yes. Because she's one of these women who think the TV is going to burst into flames, despite the fact she never knows anybody who it's happened to. Have you locked the back door? Yes. Have you locked the front door? Yes. At the bottom? Yes. At the top? No. And she's like, I hate this time of year. Do you know? Why is that? Well, the bottom of the bed's always cold, isn't it? I don't know, my fucking legs have never been down that far, to be quite honest with you. But we have been married 22 years, and she's like, there's no romance anymore. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, maybe when we are being intimate, you know, every 3 months, after Antiques Roadshow and you've had a look at Fiona Bruce, it would be nice to have music playing, just to break the silence. And she got a fair point. So I recorded some music, and we were just getting down to it. I put the first song on, Angels by Robbie Williams. I thought, that would do, neither here nor there. I think, to be honest, looking back, my choice of song number 2, the theme from Match of the Day, was probably a mistake. But she said, there's no surprises either. Okay, fair enough. So the other night, she was in the bathroom getting ready. I went into the bedroom, turned the lights off, lit some candles, hid under the bed. And when she came in, I just grabbed her ankles. And apparently that wasn't the surprise she had in mind. But she did surprise me just before Christmas last year. She said, you have remembered, you're picking me up from my work stool tomorrow. Now that came as a surprise, because she's self-employed and works from home. I said, no, that's fine. Are you going to shut up now? Seriously now? Can you just shut up? Because if I don't rip into you, the next act's going to. So you've got a choice, right? Because you're just disturbing it for everybody else. All right? And I don't want to get awkward, but you are making it awkward now. And I've been doing this far too long to put up with that shit, all right? So we were just chatting. She said, you have remembered you're going to pick... Yeah. So I got there the allocated time. She gets in the car. All I said was, you all right? Are you saying I'm drunk? Well, no, but clearly you've had a drink. Silence for 5 minutes, and then it started. I don't think you love me. Oh, don't start. In fact, I don't think you've ever loved me. I said, right, I do, I have, I can't guarantee that going forwards. She said, if you love me, you can prove it right now. I said, how am I going to do that? She said, you can get on top of me and make love to me in this car. I said, well, that's not going to happen, is it? She said, give me one good reason. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 3. Number 1, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Number 2, we're still outside Wetherspoons in the middle of town. And number 3, we've got your girlfriend Chris in the back of the car because we're giving her a lift home. And that's the thing, she's got a girlfriend, right? She went away on that cruise in April for a week with her girlfriend. That was fine. 7 nights away, I paid for it. I wanted 1 night away with my girlfriend to spend that £500 winnings. The shit I got from that. Anyway, are you ready for your second act of the evening? He's another good friend of mine. I've gigged with him loads of times. I think you're going to love him. His name is James Cook. Please give it up. The very lovely James Cook.
Hello. Thank you for that begrudging and underwhelming round of applause. Always lovely to hear it. Always nice to see these people. They come